Hi everybody, this is Mark Sams from NinjaOutreach. Today we're going to talk about how to use NinjaOutreach to find journalists and write about your brand. Okay, so there's a lot of talk that we're in a new age of media, that bloggers rule the internet, influencers rule the internet, but I've got to be honest with you. Don't get me wrong, bloggers do hold a lot more weight when it comes to influence online nowadays, but still, if you get the right journalist to write about you and get that content published in a big media website, you're going to see a lot of traffic, you're going to see a lot of attention and a lot of exposure for your business. And what we're going to do today is, as I said, we're going to show you how to use NinjaOutreach to find journalists to write about your brand. So we're going to start off on the social prospecting tab, okay? And we're going to choose a topic that we could potentially find journalists within. Let's go for tech. Go into tech industry, okay? And let's run a search. Let's see how many results you want and run the search. Give it a couple of seconds. And here we go, good to go. So the first thing that we're looking at here is we now want to run a filter. So we've got a ton of people that are in the tech industry, okay? And what we want to do is we want to run a filter, okay? So we want to run a filter for journalists. Now, by filtering by this tag, journalists, what this will do is this will make sure that we've only got people that are either have keywords like journalist, PR, press, writer, author, etc., etc. So we're going to run a filter. Just going to do that search again. This time, now we've found the people that have got journalist, tech, author, press, PR, things like that, within writer, within their profile, and now you have a ton of journalists and writers that you can now approach to write about your business and your brand. Okay, and you've just got this in your hand, just like that. You've got all the information you need about them. You've got their website address. You've got how many followers they have. You can do things like, for example, you can say, I want to search them by who's got the most followers, and you can go after the top people first. Depending on who you are and what your business is about, I would suggest not maybe going for the top people straight off the back, because you may not have no influence as of yet, or you may not have no credibility yet. What I'd say to do is go for, say, medium level people to start off with. Build up some influence and some awareness around your brand and around your business, and then go for the heavy hitters, because you can then mention to these heavy hitters in your outreach messages that, oh yeah, we've been featured here, we've been featured there, and so on and so forth. So you've got a bit more credibility, but it really does depend on your business and your brand and the goal of what you're trying to do. Now that's what you do in the social prospecting tab to find a ton of influencers. I like to work within the social prospecting tab when I'm looking for journalist influencers, journalists and writers and things like that, because I find that a lot of them, majority of them, I think 99% of them, all have some sort of social media profile. They've just got to in this day and age. So because that is the case, they're really easy to they're really easy to find on social media platforms. Okay. Now, in addition to that, what you can do as well is you can still do it, and you can still find people on the content prospecting. Let's just click over to content prospecting, and let's put in a search like tech magazine. Okay, let's go for 5,000. Let's run that search. Okay, so we've got a ton of influencers around tech magazines, and what you'll find here is that a lot of these websites, these are like actual tech magazines, so you can actually go to these magazines, go to the contact pages, find out who's like the journalists there. As you know, we've got email addresses and stuff like that, so we've got direct email addresses to these people for you as well. So editorial, if you scroll down, we'll see there's plenty more. There's contact pages, of all of these different tech magazines as well. Okay, so that's a really cool way to find additional people that are journalists that can write about your brand. Okay, now let's get on to the part of actually reaching out to these influencers and getting featured and getting written about by these journalists. Okay, so we're going to talk about the actual outreach involved in getting placements, getting media placements. So we're going to talk about outreaching to these journalists to get these media placements. And as I always say, this is the most important part. You've now gathered all of these journalists that you can potentially reach out to, and they have the ability to influence the audience that you're interested in. Now you've got to reach out to them. You've got to grab their attention and inspire them to want to write about you. So this is what you do. Okay, so journalist outreach, I need you to be aware it's difficult. These journalists, they're busy. They get so many requests on a daily basis. It's going to take a lot to stand out and actually grab their attention. Okay, now here's a PR request that we actually sent out for NinjaOutreach. It's quite detailed, but hopefully you'll get some good takeaway points. Okay, so let's start with the subject line. Subject line is exclusive for TC, TechCrunch, launching NinjaOutreach influencer outreach software for marketers. Okay, so key things to take away from that is we're putting exclusive. So this is an exclusive for TechCrunch. So it's like nobody else is getting this. That's what we're gonna. That's the angle. Okay, and we're launching NinjaOutreach influencer outreach software for marketers. So the first thing we do is, hey, name of the actual journalist. Hey Mike. Hey Dave. Hey Dominic. Whatever the name is. Okay, launching NinjaOutreach tomorrow at noon EST. And TC, that's TechCrunch, gets free region on an exclusive before then if they want it. So the key thing in that first sentence is that they're getting the region to have the exclusive. Like they'll be able to publish content that nobody else is going to have. They're going to be like the first people getting that. So that's a good pulling point, that you're doing something that is exclusive and unique to them. Then in a very quick, simple fashion, you want to explain what your product's about. So NinjaOutreach is an influencer outreach software aimed at digital marketers and SEOs. We packed in a whirlwind of awesome features such as advanced prospecting, incorporating just about every social SEO and analytics data you can think of, contact management and email integration. Okay, so you want to give like a very sort of like elevator pitch, quick, to the point, what your product is, what it's about, and make it exciting. Then you want to talk about what makes you different. So you can say in most cases it's in a fraction of the cost, a fraction of the price of our competitors. Like take Tracker for example, who listed below charges around $2,000 per month, or even 10 times the cost of ours. Okay, so in that situation, what we're talking about is that we've got competition and they're charging a lot more than what we're charging. So we're giving more business owners the opportunity to be able to use this to use a tool that is really sort of only set out really for the big corporate 500 types of companies. Now we're giving like the small business owner, the solo entrepreneur, the opportunity to use these enterprise level tools. We go into more of the benefits of the software here, where we talk about speaking to representatives from different niches and how like people within the education and B2B market and what they think of the software, and they also see it for like different uses, things like lead generation, and that's just showing that the software is very diverse and has more applications than just what it says on the tin. And then using a little bit of humor and just a bit of personality and character as well. Like you don't want the message to be dry. You want it to make them like maybe smile, laugh, or think, I don't know, something where it grabs their attention and just makes them feel like this is different from the normal BS that I get every single day sent to me. So what we did here is we just said, okay, I'll shut up now, and you can check out the demo. links and feature pages below, which are much more interesting than my pitch. Yeah, so it's like you're tuning into what they could be experiencing. They're reading through pitches day in, day out, and they must get bored of it. And by tuning into that, it's relatable. Okay, so. And you see that this is not a very long post. It's not like this is like a stupidly long, but it's a bit longer than, say, a normal outreach message. But those are the key things that you want to look at there. Is you want a bit of character, a bit of humor, if it makes sense. Okay. In the PS, what we're doing here is we're trying to make it win-win for their audience as well. Because remember, the most important person to an influencer is their audience, because the audience is their audience and the engagement from their audience that makes them an influencer. So we're saying here, PS, we'd be happy to do a giveaway to your readers. Thanks again, and feel free to reach out if you have any more questions. All relevant info listed below, and then just make sure that you list all the relevant info, like you've got like your main website, the blog page, like the story about you and your company, your press page. Like we've got an explainer video here. We've got like overview of all of our features, okay, and then we talk about then these are our competition, okay, just so they can really see, okay, this is a new player in the game, and this is what people have got to say about them. This is their story. Even if you've got product reviews and so on and so forth, you can maybe list out some of the product reviews that you've had from other people and stuff like that. I think another key thing as well is if you've got an angle, something that's controversial, something that is maybe in tune with something that's going on within the media as well, and your product solves a problem that everybody is now talking about or something of that nature. If you've got something controversial, something that's going to make heads turn, that you can inject into your pitch to the journalist, you need to add it. You need to add it. You need to think of a way of weaving that in to the pitch, okay? Because it's about the angle. It's about something that stands out from the rest. That's what they're looking for. They get pitched hundreds and hundreds of pitches for different products, different services all the time. What makes you different? That's the key thing to take away from this. What makes you different, and what can make you stand out? And it could be anything. It could be anything. It could be the fact that you're in like an open dispute with your competitors, or what you've done is creating a divide in the marketplace where people are now seeing that they don't have to spend so much to get access to this, and a lot of corporate clients are now coming over and using the cheaper version, and maybe even thinking that the cheaper version is better than the ones that cost them $10,000-$20,000 on a yearly basis. Whatever it is that makes you unique and makes you different, you've got to weave that into these outreach messages. And I think that's the main thing to really take away from this training about the actual pitch to journalists. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this training on how to use Ninja Outreach to find journalists to write about your brand. That's it from us today. It's Ninja Outreach signing off. Until the next episode.